Hey, everybody. Welcome to another fabulous episode of Happiness, Hope, and Healing. I am super excited to have my really good friend Olivia on here. She is fabulous. She makes me laugh. She inspires me. She pushes me to new heights. And we only met for the first time just recently back in August. So, I love her story. I love her drive. I love her attitude. She never gives up. So I had to bring her on here and share with you guys. But before we get started, I have to say things that you hear on here, products that we do end up talking about, we do not diagnose, treat, cure. We make no medical claims. We are simply sharing our stories. So here we go. Miss Olivia, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And I don't know if I'm fabulous, maybe a
You're
little
fabulous.
crazy.
Crazy, fabulously crazy. Can we say that? Because I think that's probably why we get along so well. Olivia
Oh,
actually took me to my first, well, we went with a bunch of other girls too, but walked me through my first trip at Bucky's, I will tell you, in August
yes.
in Texas. It was like the most giant place ever. And what did you get? Was it pulled? It wasn't pulled pork. It was brisket. Was it brisket
Brisket. That
sandwich?
was the biggest sandwich I've ever had. Literally as big as my face.
It was so awesome. I was like, this place, I nearly got lost. Like, I was totally in awe. And you're like, keep walking. It's all good. It's all good. I was like walking into people, staring at things. Like, yeah. So we've had some adventures. Beauty of the industry that we're in is that you come into line with some pretty incredible people. You don't always meet them in person right away. You end up working kind of online together and building this amazing relationship. And by the time you get out of the chats and actually seeing each other in person, it's pretty awesome. So I brought her on here tonight to share her story. So Olivia, let's start like go back a little bit in time. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, where you're from.
That is a long story.
We got time, baby.
So I'm born and raised Western Maryland. Um, Small town. There's not a lot going on over here. Um, like I literally the high school I graduated from is 10 minutes from where I live now.
Oh,
So I
okay,
didn't make it
that's
very
cool.
far. It's fine.
Amazing.
Not everybody does. Um,
Right.
so I have been married twice. I have three children, all of which are almost grown or already grown. Um, and um, so married twice, divorced twice. Um, I have been suffering from chronic health issues um, at least the past 10 years, um, most of which have gotten progressively worse um,
Right.
over those last 10 years. I would say the last 2 years have been the worst, um, to which I've been going back and forth to doctors and whatnot. And it's been a struggle. Like I know you and I have talked about that.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and I mean, even now, I have doctor's appointments here, there, and everywhere.
Right.
But
So what
I
kinds of things
try.
have you been struggling with, like exhaustion or migraine? Like what types of things do you find
So
have
I have a lot of muscle spasms, muscle weakness. I have a lot of gut issues. I have IBS. And I have some dysphagia, so I have trouble swallowing sometimes.
right?
Among other things. Um, those are probably the worst. I have some other stuff that they haven't diagnosed yet.
Right. Isn't that the frustrating part? Like, don't tell me I'm crazy because I know what's going on in my body and in my mind, and
Girl, I
you
can't tell
just
you how
can't
many
seem
times
to put
I've
a
cried
name
at the
on it.
doctor's office.
Same.
I'm not crazy. Listen to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because you can't find it on your little checklist doesn't mean I'm not going through it. And that's the real frustrating part for some people. And especially without putting a name on it, especially since 2020, there's so many people that are like, I never struggled with any of this. I mean, that's what happened to me. I never struggled with any of it until after that time, after certain mandated things had to happen. And so for some people, this is a whole new territory. And you've been dealing with it for at least the last decade. So, how do you manage? What do you do for a living? Let's start there.
So I work at a doctor's office. I answer phones all day long.
Sounds like
When you
me.
call my doctor's office to make an appointment, you get me or one of my friends.
That's awesome.
So yeah. And like when I tell you I'm literally on the phone from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock, you know,
Yeah.
other than my lunch hour, I'm not lying.
Yeah. And that is really hard on your brain. Talking all day, people don't get it. Like introvert or extrovert, it does. I'm an extrovert, but I'm in the similar type of job as you now. But even the job I had before, like I was literally, and it's just mentally exhausting. Like you just get home and your brain feels like mush. And, so if you're already struggling with any brain fog or any chronic exhaustion issues, which I think you and
Oh
I
yeah.
are kind of similar in that regard, right? Especially,
Oh yeah.
um, and did
Chronic
they
pain,
diagnose
chronic
you?
fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even matter what label they put on it because for some people, it's just sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's environment, sometimes it's uh, environment's a big one. There's so many
Yeah.
toxins that we aren't aware of that we don't choose to participate in. They're in the air, they're in the clothes we wear, they're in the things that I've really come alive in the last few years just learning about food and nutrition and that kind of stuff. So how have you coped up until this point? Like I know we're going to talk about, this magic little mushroom juice that we love so much, but how were you coping up until that point? Like,
Up until then, it was really a lot of listening to my body, um, making sure I stayed hydrated, um, paying attention when certain things that I would eat would make things worse. Okay, I'm not eating that anymore. It's
right.
all about paying attention to your body and what it's telling you because your body will talk to you. You just got to learn
Absolutely.
how to listen.
Absolutely. And people, it's important, especially in this day and age, like doctors will really want to push you into a chemical model of treatment very, very quickly because that's what they know. They know these list of symptoms get this chemical compound. And I'm not anti-medication, despite what all of you may think. It's not for me. I do my best not to use it, but there are instances where that's the option right now, and that's what you need to do.
Right.
But you really do need to become an advocate for yourself. And like you said, keeping a journal, keeping I feel really amazing today. What did I eat? What did I drink? How did I sleep? What have I been doing yesterday leading into today? So I love that idea about, really tracking for yourself and really trying to determine and listening to your body because and that's the hard part, especially as women, is we feel like when we sit down and okay, I today's got to be a rest day because that's what my body's crying for.
Oh yeah.
That's a really hard thing to do when you have families and you have kids and you have jobs and like there's a lot of guilt I find that comes along, mom guilt, that comes along with I should be doing, but my body is saying, nope, I need a minute, like, or I need an
Right.
hour, or I need a day. So I applaud you for that because that's really difficult. I found for me when I didn't do those things, I just exponentially made it worse for myself the next day or the day after. Like things just sort of compounded on top of themselves. So,
Look, you only chronically ill people only have a certain amount of spoons to get crap done during the day. And if you haven't heard of spoon theory, go look it up.
yeah,
Um,
I remember you telling me, but it's not on the top of my brain. So,
yeah, and like you only have a certain amount of spoons. What it is normal people can use whatever energy they have to do whatever they need to do there during the day. Chronically ill people have a finite amount of it. So we have a
correct.
certain amount of spoons. And taking shower might take 3 spoons, eating breakfast might take 2. And when you only got 20 spoons, that's a lot. It's not a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. That's a quarter right there just from showering and having breakfast. Like that's your
Yeah.
tanks, yeah. When you look at it like a gas tank in quarters, like that's a great
And I
analogy.
was
I love that.
probably horrible at explaining that, but
No,
it's the best way I
that's a
know how.
really good. No, So basically what you're saying is like, I don't even want to say healthy people, for example, have an infinite number of spoons. Typically,
Yes,
you can get when you're
pretty much.
chronically ill, like you said, you may only have 20 spoons or 10 spoons, and when they're gone, they're gone. Your gas tank is empty. I actually really love that analogy. And it's important for people to recognize that this is what I have to give. And another thing is we need to find things, and you probably find this too. You need to find things that fill your cup.
Go ahead and drink. Sorry, my kid's
Whether
in here.
That's okay. That's all right. I did one episode with somebody, her poor little granddaughter wanted a bath, and she had a bath, and then she got out of the bath, and then she cried she wanted back in the bath, and it was like it is what it is. We're moms, we're wives, we're whatever. So that's okay. But you have to find things that fill your cup, right?
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
and what do you find that kind of fills your cup, helps you get through the day, helps you manage?
I have to take time for me. Um, and how I do that is whether it's watching a TV show with my family or reading a book or something like that. I have to take that time for me.
Yeah.
Um, and then, finding and using things that help me.
Right.
Is this your drink?
Right. Well, and we met in a previous company. Um, that's where you and I met. And I don't know about you, but I mean,
You're getting
at the
my teeth.
time I was like, oh, there's so many things to choose from. But then you're
Right.
taking like, I was taking over a dozen different things every single day. And it just got overwhelming, and some days I forgot this and some days I forgot that, and so I'm all about supplementation. I always have been.
Oh
So
yeah.
and I know you and I met in a company where like that was a big thing for us, and that's kind of where we bonded, was over our health journey, really. And
Yeah. Good. I promise.
so we've recently come into something I feel is like a little bit simpler. So
Oh
tell
yeah, a
me
lot.
about life, like yeah, I say a little bit, but that's kind of probably the biggest understatement of the year. Like literally two things. I'm actually on my second one only because I have a bunch of other stuff I have to do tonight. It's probably not a good idea, but I
I'll
don't find
probably drink another one. I was going to earlier, but got teeth yanked out, so
yeah. And look at
figured
here
I'd
she
wait.
is looking beautiful as ever. And she's like, I had to go to the dentist today, and what turned out to be a consultation. I had oral surgery. I'm like, oh my gosh. And
It's
here she
fine.
is, looking pretty as ever, even though she's you don't even look that swollen. Your skin looks really good. I do have to say. That
Thank
was
you.
the first thing I noticed when you hopped on here. Like you're looking younger and younger every day. I
Thanks.
love it. I love it. So yeah, we went from a dozen different things. So tell me the comparison, like, because you've chronically been suffering for, you said, like about a decade. So we were
Yeah.
doing all these things, we had, I can't even list all the things we had, but a dozen different things. How are you managing on that? Like on a scale of, and I'm not knocking any products. I'm just, trying to make the comparison here.
So
How
I
are you
went
like out of a 10 out of 10 kind of on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm doing good between, my normal medications and the juice. Um I'm doing a lot better. I'm not 10 out of 10, but I'm probably about a 7 or 8, whereas
Which is
before I was like a 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
was
there
gonna
were
say
days where
seven or
I was
eight's
a
pretty
2.
high. Yeah. 7 or 8's actually pretty high for you. I'm so excited about that. So obviously I know what led you here. I always ask people that question, like what led you here? And here being um starting to use this mushroom juice. But I already know because we've just talked about it. Like when you can't, you're using all these things and it's like there's no consistency in how it's
Right.
affecting your body.
Well, it's hard to be
Um,
consistent when you're taking 10 different things.
it is. It's expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was like probably $300 a month on different supplements and not even from one source. So like,
Right.
oh crap, I'm out of this and I got to order this and you got to order from, it wasn't like it all came in one bundle at the time. So, that was really tough as well, but I'm really
It was
happy. Go ahead.
it was one of those things where, I said I was never going to try it.
You did. I
And
remember.
then they broke me down and I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it. And
What
the
was your
first day,
hesitation? Was it like that it was mushrooms and what it was going to taste like? Was it just because the way things kind of went down
it was all of
or
it. It was
all of
all of
it?
it.
Yeah.
I was like, ew, mushroom juice, gross.
Yeah, I know. Wet
And
mushrooms. I was
then
like,
I'll tell you the first day I tried it, I ordered that day
yeah, that was
because
me.
15 minutes, I was like 15, 20 minutes in, my brain just clicked
Yeah.
on. And I was like, what is this?
I know. It's like first of all, it's like a light switch goes on in your brain. And then it all for me, it felt like my brain was a really messy room. And when I drank it, it was like my room suddenly got like this closet organizer and everything had a space and everything was, accessible. I knew where it was. And, some days I couldn't finish sentences because I was like, I don't remember what I was talking about. Or, like you start and you stop and you stutter and all this stuff. So, yeah, one thing, well, it's two things really. I mean, there's more than that, but really to have
I
these three
primarily
things,
take those two. Yeah.
yeah,
Those two right
once a
there.
day, like just like this. And do you use our little magic straw?
I do. I do.
It's amazing, right? I love it. And I
I'm
got
not
my
great at
little,
explaining it, but I use it.
yeah, I'm not. I'm like, well, somebody said the other day, it's like a tuning fork. And I'm like, that is really true. I don't even really know exactly what a tuning fork does, but I'm trying to learn because at first when that all came around and they're like, oh, it's charged with frequencies, I was like, okay. Like I didn't really know what it was, so I didn't really talk about it or explain it. I just knew that it worked. I just knew
Right.
that it did things for me that all these dozen other products. And it's a hard thing when you're like, okay, well, I'll take them for 30 days. I'll take them for 60 days. Maybe I'll feel better. Maybe I'll feel better. And that's really hard. It's really hard to buy all that stuff and take all that stuff. And, here you are 30 days, 45 days, 60 days in, and it's like not really feeling as good as. And I used to say that to my doctor, like, I take all the supplements, I eat all this stuff, I work out, I'm doing all this stuff, and I still feel like garbage.
Right.
And there was no explanation for that. One of the things Dr. Rob explained to me, who is our frequency doctor, by the way, is that so the
He's amazing, by the way.
mitochondria, isn't he awesome? I just love him. He's the sweetest thing. He's so passionate and excitable, and he's just a really down to super smart guy, but really down to earth. And I love how he explains things in ways that every single person can understand. So the mitochondria is like what holds you together. It's kind of like the lining around the cell of everything in your body. And the way he explained it to me, when that's impaired, stuff doesn't absorb. So even though you're
Yeah.
taking all this good stuff, I was drinking a gallon of water a day, for example, and my blood test showed I was dehydrated. And I said to my doctor, that's impossible.
How?
I drink a gallon of water a day. Like I can show you my tracking. Like no, you're dehydrated. Your blood work says you're dehydrated. And that's because that lining around that cell was damaged. So it wasn't absorbing or holding things, which makes it easier to understand why other products weren't necessarily working. It's not that they were bad products. It's just I needed to find a way to fix that. And
Right.
the way to do that was the frequencies. And I really feel
Yep.
like, I don't know if you believe this or agree with this, but for me, I felt like because I had tried so many different things over the course of my life, I feel like the frequencies is what makes it so effective, even though I
Oh
don't
yeah,
truly
absolutely.
understand it. It's the only thing that's different out of all these. I've taken vitamin
Because
B
the
before.
mushrooms and all the vitamins and everything would be great by itself, but
Yeah.
the it being frequency tuned just takes it way up here.
Yeah. It's like driving a Honda or driving a Lamborghini. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? It kind of pulls it
Exactly.
all. So we take this. This is the one I'm sharing with you guys. One of the things. So this is the uh original, the OG of magic mushroom juice. I shouldn't say magic mushroom juice because we're not microdosing. Close, but we're not officially microdosing. And they're charged with frequencies, as you can see right here. I don't know if you can see that little disc. This holds
I
the
put those stickers
frequencies,
on everything. I will.
right? I was trying to figure out this morning, like, why is my head sticky? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I had a disc on there last night. I had a migraine starting, like a headache starting over here. And I literally had this round sticker on the side of my head like all day. I went downstairs. My brother's like, what is on your head? Yeah, I put them everywhere. And the other day, my back was burning, like my neck and my shoulder blades and down my spine. I literally took my spare straw and I took my little thing out because I don't want to lose it. My little rubber stopper, those things disappear very easily. And I stuck it down the back of my sports bra and I just left it. And within 30 minutes, my muscles weren't burning anymore. It was crazy.
It's
So
yeah, I don't have any other word for it either.
I don't have any. I don't even have the.
It's
We have
boogie.
videos that can explain. Yeah, right. Speaking of boogie, can you just appreciate Olivia's really cool little headband, like
Let me turn it this
the
way.
Halloween
There we go.
theme with the mushrooms on top? Like, I love that. That's so amazing.
I didn't even wear it on purpose.
I love it. I love it. But we have videos that can explain frequencies to you guys if that's kind of what, if you want to know more, because we're not experts. But the doctor actually explains it. We have short little videos that you can watch there. But you're like, I can't believe how much, like, even your complexion has changed. Like your eyes, like everything. Like it's just
I think
so
that has a lot to do with this helping reduce inflammation.
huge. Yeah, because you've
And
lost weight too.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it.
And then like the you've seen my pictures from the first 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was
it's
insane.
mind blowing. I'll post those
Um,
in the comments after this is over. But yeah, you guys, it's insane.
but not only that, but like after 10 days I was feeling better. Um, I could get up and move around more. I could do things. Whereas
Yeah,
before that, I'd come home and go to bed.
yeah,
I'd make dinner for my kids and go to bed.
yeah,
Um, and I think that reduction in inflammation has really not only helped me feel better, but like you said, my skin looks better.
it sure
I
does.
don't look as tired. I
No,
mean,
you
don't get me
don't.
wrong,
You
the
just
bags are still there because I'm old, but um,
whatever. But the difference, even in that, like I remember when the first picture of you before your juice, and it was like, because I have them too. Like I've had bags under my eyes since I was a kid. Like it's not about, I've just always had those dark circles, and it was like, but the difference even in that is like it's crazy.
mhm.
It's crazy. Like you look significant. Like you're not puffy around your eyes anymore. Like it's like your nose is changing shape. Like it's crazy when you start losing inflammation. And when you feel like garbage, like you don't care what you put in your body because you don't have the energy to care. You don't have the brain capacity to care. Maybe you don't, you can't stand long enough to cook, so we're gonna eat fast food. Like, I mean, I really did not care. Like I was just in such a bad state. When you are feeling so crappy chronically in a physical way, your mental health takes a nosedive
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you just can't handle. It's really hard to be happy when you don't even have your eyes open in the morning and you're trying to figure out how you're going to get up and walk to the bathroom or how you're going to get dressed or how you're going to do all these things that you have to do because life goes on. Just because you're chronically ill doesn't mean that life stops and you can just get off the merry-go-round. Like that just doesn't exist. So, and just going day after day after day and nothing's working and doctors don't have any answers, and like it's exhausting. It's exhausting physically, it's exhausting mentally, it's exhausting emotionally. So I know how I felt like the first time I drank this, and I felt like number one, like you said, just that pop of energy.
Yeah.
I actually felt myself kind of like vibing to the music a little bit. And I felt happy, which I hadn't felt in a
Uh-huh.
really long time because I was chronically hurting. I can't say the P word because that's not compliant, but chronically hurting, if you get my drift, in every area of my body. And I remember thinking, if all it does is give me energy and boost my mood, I think I can handle the hurting all the time. Like I remember thinking that. And then it was about 3 weeks. And I'm gonna say, like, I think this is like the hero for me. It took about three
Oh yeah,
weeks,
absolutely.
but this worked right away. Like within the first half hour, you definitely noticed a change in your brain fog and in your mood and in like just everything. But this, like from the inside out,
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it really overhauled and really helped to restore this will alkalize your body. When your body's alkalized, it'll alkalize a glass of water. When you're alkalized, like illness can't grow. Bad bacteria and viruses can't grow in an alkaline environment. I mean, that's just science. That's not a claim on the part of these products. You can Google that in science, and you can find it from completely different sources. So I feel like this for me was like, if I only don't ever make me choose, but if I had to, it would be this one because it's
Oh yeah,
done
hands down. Me too.
so much. It's done so much, and it's like squid ink, you guys. Like it's black fulvic acid, 77 trace minerals, and it just looks like squid ink. And it tastes like nothing, smells like nothing. You just mix it in with your stuff. And so yeah, did you we just dropped apple cider, you guys. I hope you grabbed it because I'm not even sure there's any left, but did you get some?
I did. I got one.
I can't wait. We tried it in Dallas, both of us. It was
Oh my God,
amazing.
it
It
was
was,
so good.
it was so good. And I never thought about having it hot until they did that. And then I was like, I've tried this one,
I
I've
was
tried
like,
hot too.
oh my God, we can have this hot?
I know. I
What?
know. Game changer.
I know.
So yeah, I was really super stoked when you finally came over because I knew I saw and I knew and I was like, oh, please just drink it one time. Like you will not like you will just and this is what I'm thinking, right? So, and I remember we were in separate companies at the time, cheering you on and like watching your results and some of your weight loss journey and stuff. And it was like because that's the one thing about this industry is you meet some incredible people. The nasty, shady side of this industry is a lot of leaders will teach when someone leaves your company that you should just not be friends with them anymore. You should block them, cut them out, whatever. Like it's ridiculous to me. So,
That's not how I
'cause
roll.
no, that's not how I roll either. And I was like, whatever, like, that's not happening. So I just want to go over the product line. You can tell me your experience with each of them. So we already talked about the Rise and the Source. We talked about this little magic straw. We have a video on some of the things this straw can do. Do you use this one? Do you use the balance?
Yes. I am currently out right now and I hate myself for it, but
So sad. I
I
know.
love that stuff.
I've used it in the morning again because we both work on the phones all the time. And sometimes like for me, I get between the time one person hangs up and the time that the phone rings again, I got 45 seconds. So any notes I have to make on that call, I have 45 seconds before the next and it's not ringing and okay, I'm going to let it finish ringing while I finish what I'm doing. It automatically picks up in my ear after like 5 seconds or whatever. It tells me where the call's coming in from, and then the person is literally there listening to
Oh
me.
yeah, same.
Yeah. So that's you guys, if you don't do that, like that can be really stressful. Like that can be really so I have this in the morning and it kind of just mellows me out like that. Like it kind of like stuff is like water off a duck's back, stuff that it just doesn't bother me. But I have to okay, and I'm pretty sure and you use this,
Not regularly.
but you'd have tried it.
I have tried it.
Right.
Um, and that's mostly because I'm a single parent and I have a single parent budget.
I totally understand that. I totally get that. So I'm going to give you this little hint. The next time you get some of this, you have to mix this in this.
I
Someone
shall.
told me just one dropper in this, and then I squeeze it all up. I don't even realize I've fallen asleep. I sleep like an entombed mummy. I don't even roll over. Like it's insane. And then I wake up in the morning, like, the drool down like, oh, I slept, I fell asleep. Like, you just have no idea. Like, and I don't know what it is about these two things together, but I did read how CBD and CBG, and then there's CBN, like, when they say beauty sleep, you guys, like, this has collagen peptides in it. So, hello, I'm 50. I can proudly say that. But yeah, the two of them together and combined CBD and CBG when you take them together, like that's what this one is. It actually exponentially increases the benefits of each individually. So tons of stuff. It helps with nausea. It helps with hunger cravings. It helps with stress. It just helps with so many different things. And then This one.
The nausea and the stomach issues is actually what I use it for.
Well, that I can imagine because you said you have IBS and stuff too, so I can totally get how you would how that would really really help.
Yeah.
And then this one. I love this one. You guys, this has stuff in it that will prevent the muscle movements in your face from forming fine lines in your face. You'll still have muscle movements. It's not like Botox that freezes those muscles and then like nothing moves. It's not like that at all. But it actually prevents the muscle movements from creating, like, I have, like, whenever I say what the heck, like I get those craters that are there. So it actually helps to minimize, I mean, they're going away, but not quite. So there's that one. I do not have the Relieve cream. Actually, I do, but there's no label on it, so it's just like a white container because I had to smuggle it in. But that one's
I
good
want
for
my
pain relief too. That one's good for pain relief too. So I actually just ordered some more Sync because I'm almost out. But so yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to encourage you. You can also get, I don't have one. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You can reach out to Olivia or myself, and you can grab a 5-day experience. You get
Absolutely.
five, you get 5 of these. And you can try it for 5 days because a lot of people are skeptical, and I totally get it. Olivia was also skeptical, and you just have to get it in your body. I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
day one, you're gonna think it's a fluke. Day two, you're gonna be like, oh heck yes, I could feel like this every day. And then by day 3, you absolutely have to order because running out sucks. You don't know how bad you feel until you don't feel that bad anymore. So, I get to see you. Are you coming to Orlando?
I should be,
Working on it?
yes. Working on it.
Working on it. I get you. I get you. So we have our launch. We're not even in launch, you guys. If you're looking for a place to belong, if you're just looking for a product line you want to feel better, we got you. But if you're also looking for a place to belong, maybe you're a woman who, like Olivia, my kids they're kind of grown, they're kind of doing their own thing. If you're looking for a place to belong and you want a mission and you want something to do with your life, something inspiring, something fun, hello, we're it. We are it. We have the best, we have the fastest growing team, one of the most successful teams in the company. And it's just absolutely, it's so fun. Black
And
Friday's
we're just
coming.
super fun. We're a super fun
We are.
gang.
We actually are. I love it. It feels like family, and not like the dysfunctional kind of family, but the kind of family that gets along and loves each other. Like that's the kind of family we are. But Black Friday's coming, which is typically in this industry like a big time of the year. So if you're stressing right now, if you're watching this and you're stressing about, don't talk to me about these products because I don't know how I'm going to afford Christmas. Now is a good time because you can get a business in a box for $49. You can start sharing these products and you'll still get paid if you even I had customers ordering before I even ordered my own stuff just because I was sharing other people's experiences. I'd had one of these, I was sharing how it tasted, and I still got paid. So it's not one of those companies where you have to order hundreds of dollars every month in order to collect a paycheck. No, you get an affiliate link, and no matter what happens, you get a percentage of those sales, even if you haven't ordered yet in the month. Maybe you hit a rough patch and you know what? As much as I want it, I can't do it this month. You still get paid. That's for me, that's a huge thing for people. It's really simple. We have a lot of fun. We have some on-demand training. We have live coaching that goes on pretty much all throughout the day.
Oh
You
yeah.
can hop on and learn different things from live coaching, just like we're sitting here talking. You could literally be coaching with somebody and learning new skills. And we would love to have you. So have the conversation, step out of your comfort zone, ask some questions, drop a mushroom in the comments. Olivia and I will make sure whoever you're connected to, because I know these videos get shared around, whoever you're connected to, we will make sure you get back to that person. But we would love to see you. We would love to hear your story. And we would love to help you create a story together with us because we're so super fun. And
Yes.
you'll be laughing all the time
We bring
because
the party.
that's
Me
just
and
how
you.
we roll. That's right. The two of us, we're like the most off the wall. If it's not, we're those, listen, we are the type that if something goes down in a group setting, do not look at us because it'll, we will just lose control and everyone will be laughing. So, It's just what it is. I have one of those like what I'm thinking just gets splashed across my face. Krista always laughs. One of our friends, Krista, she always laughs because like you could just look at my expression. And but thank you for hopping on here, Olivia, even
Of
though
course.
you had your surprise dental issue work today. You look fabulous. And here she is still here. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I love that you're here. I love that you're feeling better. I love that you're getting 7 or 8 out of 10 days. Like that just really makes me so happy.
Me
And
too.
I can't wait to see you soon. I love you.
Love you too.
Good night, guys.